Hey everyone, thank you for tuning back into the iConis podcast. And today we are talking about the ultimate secret agent in the Marvel universe. No, not Nick Fury. No. We're talking about John Garrett. Hey everyone, remember, like, subscribe, and share. Don't let the show be a secret. And today we're getting into Secret Agent Man. And we are talking about the one and only John Garrett. Now, I know you're going to go, who? And I'm like, well, John Garrett's been around for a while. So first of all, I had to dig into the archives. And digging into the archives, I've come across that John Garrett, who's a character I like, and you might not know who he is. So first of all, let me show you how far the character has gone. He was created back in 1986 and made his first appearance in Elektra Assassin. So Elektra Assassin, issue number 2. And he was created by Frank Miller and Bill Suenakis. And Bill was the artist on the book, on that 8-issue miniseries, which was a lot of fun to read. Now, keep in mind, Frank Miller created the Hand. How does this work with our man, John Garrett? Very simple. In that miniseries, Elektra Assassin, Elektra has been hired to assassinate a particular president, not on U.S. soil, in another country. And John, as a SHIELD agent, is there to guard this president. Of course, one person has to win and one person has to lose. Sorry, John. Elektra made the mark. She took the president out. And of course, this was a failed operation. During this time, now John got injured. But the thing is with John, why is John gone so far? He's there, but not there. So John he did have a live action appearance, or appearances, I should say, in Agents of SHIELD, the TV show that ran for a while with Phil Coulson. And he was played by Bill Paxton. So John Garrett is a, let's say, more ambiguous character who always seems to cross the line, has an addictive personality, and has done some things he shouldn't have done. So one, he has served time in prison. He served time in prisons before, and he did a 2-year stint at Rikers Island. Upon leaving there, he was, wanted to, maybe change his life around. He was really good with weapons. He had a very good technical mind, and he eventually, from going from prison, made his way into the CIA. They took him on board. They trained him. He did really well with covert ops. And back in the 60s, so 1961, he joined a group, that was called, I believe it was called Leviathan. And in this group, it was led by Leonardo da Vinci. So Leonardo da Vinci was a part of this group, and they wanted to change the world. And each person had a code name. They didn't use their real names. So John's name was Aquarius on this team. Now, they weren't afraid of crossing lines. Of course, also there, and they operated at a place called Immortal City. Immortal City, of course, the people were long-lived, and that's how it went about. Nick Fury was a part of this. During this time, he graduates from the CIA, and he becomes a full-fledged SHIELD agent. Now, keep in mind, this man has been arrested for disorderly conduct, amongst many other things. He has an addictive personality. So every time you see him, he's always smoking, drinking, or doing illicit drugs. Then he gets caught into this whirlwind escapades because he's supposed to be guarding this president. The president gets killed, and then he goes after the person that killed the president, and that was Elektra. And during this whole miniseries that he makes his first appearance in, he goes from being angry and wanting revenge to actually working with her to stop the Hand Ninja Clan from resurrecting the Beast, for the Beast to turn around and influence this person called Ken Wind. And Ken Wind was running for a political office. So every time you see Ken, or the Beast was Ken, in his human disguise, he was running for to be president, and he was drawn differently, very pale. And the only way you could tell something was off with Ken, regardless of the charm and the good looks and everything like that, he gave off a weird smell. Everyone said it smelled like sour milk every time he walked into the room. Now, the Hand has dealt with a lot of stuff when it comes to magic. I did a whole video on that, and thank you for those who watched it. And if you haven't, check it out. So, and I'm interested in this character. So this character showed up in the Elektra miniseries. He showed up in other various books. He showed up in Elektra with Elektra Lives Again. That was a hardcover novel that was done. Well done. And, even though Elektra is the forefront along with Matt Murdock, Daredevil, Garrett is still there in the background. He's always in the background. You see him. And then, of course, there's another Daredevil and Elektra hardcover graphic novel that was done. And you see him on the cover. And it was called Love and War. So these appearances, of course, also appearing on Agents of SHIELD. Why John Garrett? Well, John Garrett has gone through various different groups with a set of skills. I know it sounds like Taken. And he's made his way through. But of course, he's always straddling the line. So during the Elektra series, as I said, he's looking for revenge. He starts off against Elektra, then with Elektra, then he's starting to stop Ken Wynn from becoming president of the United States and taking over the world. That is his main goal. He believes that his emotion goes from anger to love, and I would say not love. He's infatuated with Elektra, but she hypnotized him. And at one point, he had other agents in there. He had Chastity McBride. She was chasing him down because she realized there was something wrong with his records. On top of that, he had another person that was working with him, another agent. His name was Perry, and Perry was trying to stop him. I cannot stop him, but Perry was a psychopath. Now, because of this, these two were brought together, in this group. It was called X-Tech Op. There we go. And this was a company that was dealing with bionics. It's a tongue twister. Dealing with bionics, and they were able to take these two agents who got damaged, so that's Perry and John, that got damaged on a mission, and gave them bionic parts slowly but slowly, more and more and more, until pretty much Garrett's whole body was bionic. He was a bionic man that had gone wrong, who believed in using weapons and crossing the line and indulging in illicit substances. That was his whole run. He helps Elektra as best as possible to stop and delay the beast. Now, because he's shown up so much in the background of these shows and everything that comic books and you see, I think that a spotlight should be shone on Garrett. So a lot of times we read the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents, they're always super good, great guys, the world police, everything they're trying to do, even though they might get a little bit black ops and dirty missions, but they're always more, shown honorable. Garrett is the one agent who is not that way. He doesn't double cross them. Even though it does appear at times he does double cross S.H.I.E.L.D. and he does, because he believes the ends justify the means. And he does it to stop, for the greater good. Okay, so here we are. So why should Garrett get more? Well, seeing that he's shown up with Elektra, and he's pretty much a sidekick, but he's a very capable sidekick. He's bionic. He also, is there with Daredevil. He's fighting the Hand. This is a tale where we can get into how does S.H.I.E.L.D. deal with it. Sometimes you got to get someone grimy to deal with something grimy. So this is why Nick, kind of chastises Chastity for trying to stop Garrett from doing his job. We need to have Chastity back in. We need Elektra back in. Maybe give Garrett a solo miniseries, once in a while. And it's got to be mature rated because I want to see him still fighting the Hand. Picture, you're the Bionic Man fighting supernatural ninjas from taking over the world. And what do you do with Ken? He's running for president. Even if he doesn't get that role, he's still got a lot of political influence that's going to cause a lot of hurdles along the way for the main character, which would be John. Of course, Elektra can make a couple appearances here and there, but then she can bounce back out, and the two of them will still be in touch. But the focus should be on John. How does he navigate fighting the Hand, running away from S.H.I.E.L.D., working for S.H.I.E.L.D., at the same time? And of course, there's that other secret organization. Even though it ended, there's still going to be some people with hard feelings. To give you an idea how good this character is, at one point, he goes through a whole set of mission. He gets damaged. Elektra works it that she's able to swap her mind into other people. She allows herself to get caught. She allows Garrett to get caught on purpose without letting him know what the whole plan was because his body was damaged. While at S.H.I.E.L.D., they rebuild him. We can rebuild him. And they make him whole again. And once he's fully repaired, because Elektra needed him full-bodied, she then orchestrates for them to break out. And that is the plan. And gets away with him totally fixed. And he's flying off with one of the machines with her there. And she doesn't say much to him. He's just sitting there. He's really the voice of this miniseries. So he's always got a cigar in his hand. He's gone on numerous adventures and he survived quite a lot from multiple sides. And then he finally gets arrested by S.H.I.E.L.D. because he crosses a line too much. They see him as a traitor, even though he was trying to do something well and good. So he gets arrested. He spends a couple of years, once again, in prison. Not his first rodeo. And during that time, he gets clean and sober. And when he's clean and sober, he comes out of jail and he says, you know what? I'm done with the lifestyle. I'm done with everything going on. I want to live a normal life. And he retires and opens up an auto shop in Toronto, Canada. Of course, Nick Fury keeps tabs on him. I mean, if you just paid for a lot of this man's bionics and, he's caused you stress, but he's worked with you at the same time, you're going to keep tabs on him even if he thinks not. And he knows that he's there. And then Nick reaches out to him again to reinstate him as a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. So keep in mind, he's gone from being being arrested, rightfully so, to a CIA agent covert black ops and then getting up into S.H.I.E.L.D., retires, and then gets called back again. So he's made enemies in S.H.I.E.L.D., he's made enemies with the Hand Ninja Clan, and I'm sure other organizations too that want a piece of him. And I would like to see a series. As I said before, a mini-series. It's got to be for mature audiences, or give me something. We have Hitmonkey that's on Disney+. We can have something with John Garrett as the focal point, with guest appearances by Elektra, but it's got to be the Hand to turn around and see how he goes about stopping Ken Win from hitting that final level and getting the power. Does he get him arrested? Does he try to assassinate him? What does he do? We don't know. But I think there's a story there that needs to be told, and this is why I'm talking about John Garrett. Thank you for tuning in. Like, subscribe, and share. Don't let the show be a secret. And remember, this whole world was started by a pencil, a piece of paper, and lots of imagination. Keep on dreaming. Secret Agent Man, Secret Agent Man.